I'm going to go over a few tickers, including a trade that I took today. But first up, a look at the Hershey Company. We ended the day at 193.65, up a whopping 10.85%. The stock ran today because of the news of a potential buyout. So this is where we ended. To the north side takes us to one level of resistance, and that is in blue, VWAP at 197.80. Above that, 205.65, another potential take profit area, 212.40, and at 4 standard deviations, which I do not anticipate we get to this level. And if we do, you can bet there will be a sell-off. People will take their profits and they will run, they will lock in and they will leave. And then the lines will recalculate and then probably fall down. But this right here is a big sell signal. I'll get to that in a second. Now to the downside, I'm going to mark out the middle line here. 178.90. Another potential buy-in area, 172.15, could be a stop loss as well. And 165.77. Looking left, you can see the bounce here at support running all the way up to here. We wicked up and then started to fall back down. This line is support on the way down, and on the way up, it is resistance. Sell off here at resistance. I'm going to take a look at this on the monthly time frame, but note the RSI almost oversold, so I will anticipate maybe a bounce tomorrow. We go down a little bit more. See, we've gone down to 30.59 in the past, and then it will correct itself. But on the monthly, it's been a while since I've looked at this. I looked at this just for price back on January when it was 187, in February 188, and on August 15th, at the end of the day, the price was 196.66. But as you can see right here, this is resistance, and what happened? We fell down. This lines up right here with being overbought. Anything above this line, you can bet there will be a pullback. And on the monthly, the highest we've ever gone to is right there. So this time around, we're right here, and there is a lot of room to go to the upside before the alarm bells go off. And to the south side, the lowest we've gone, is, that's pretty tied. So I will just mark, I'll just mark this out right here. All right, that's the lowest we've gone. So now the RSI on the monthly is turning up. What is the RSI looking like on the weekly? Still got room to move to the upside. Sell off here at resistance, and a bounce here off at support. And this is on Monday here. And look, it coincided with some good news. You just never know when these things start taking off. And then here we are on the daily. And that huge run up. And at one point it could have been at 4 standard deviations, but again, the calculations are updated. TradingView does it for you when you play the linear regression. But we are here. So now back to the same level we were previously, 202.08, and then the high 208.03. So we're close to the 52-week range, but at 4 standard deviations, that will take us to 216.33. The 1-year price target at this moment, we've already hit that 180.27. 180.27. Right down here-ish. I don't know. This is like a rolling target here because they don't tell you when they started to track it. So it's rolling. So the next target to the max is at 222. That represents a 14.64% return. 222 takes us to, let's clean this up. I like to put my price targets in white to be consistent. Coordinates 222 even. All right, that's the target. But I don't like to buy things when they're high and then hope that they run even higher. That is not my style. And earnings is coming up on the 30th. What interests me more is the bottom of the leaderboard, the ones that have tanked, where there's much more upside potential if the analysts are correct in their prediction. Now I'm on the daily, so we are here back up to the middle of this line is 40.03, and then above that takes us to 43.99. The 1 year price target is 48.23. And the RSI, ooh, see, this is looking way better. But I like to buy closer to this line. So this could make my list of the 20 stocks that I'm watching for Trader Nate. I'll consider that. Let me write this down. But I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. And I'm going to flip this over. Oh, earnings is coming up on the 23rd of January. Let's go to the 5, where I like to give you price targets for the next day. We are right here, the lower channel of VWAP. Oops. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put this on my list. Just a second, I want to see something. Ooh, down to 37 it says. But that's close to the 52-week low. I like it. So 37 would take us to below, at this moment, -3 standard deviations. I like that. Okay, I'm going to actually add that. So that will be number 1, 2, 3. That'll be number 4. Let me do something really quick. I'm going to put this so I remember. Oops, because I am creating a watch list for Nate. He asked me what my top 20 picks are, but I have way more than 20. I'm just starting a new list now. But anything that I trade, and because I trade it, I'm tracking it. I have so many of them, but this is a new list I'm building out. So, and really that list is on my Gap and Go video that I do on Sunday. Those are the tickers I add in that I'm watching that I like or trade. Okay, this is going to be number 4 because I have Mchp, Dow, Intel, Cmcsa. This will be 4 out of 20. That's just for my reference. I need to fix this. You just click on it and then use your arrow keys up and down. All right. And I gave you the targets already, right? I think I did. What the heck, I'll do it again. 38.15, 37.11, 36.05, VWAP right here, 39.85-ish, 42.45, 43.46-ish, 44.52. All right, so that's Cmcsa. Now the one that I want to also show you that's going to be added to my list is this one. BIIB, Biogen. I don't know if you've seen a trend, if you've noticed this, but I've noticed that the healthcare sector has taken a beating. Like things are, they've changed, rotated out. And whereas during COVID, these stocks were so high, ran like crazy, and now they've tanked. And there's a reason, but I like it. So I'm going to put this. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 20. Number 5 out of the 20. Oops. All right. Oops, let's make that bigger. Okay, now I'm going to give you some price targets to the upside. That's where I like to start. I like that to be in yellow for now. Maybe I'll change it in the new year. So that's 157.47. VWAP is at 157.71. The upper band lines up with 2 standard deviations and another potential take profit area. 158.97, 159.68, and 160.38. It depends on what your objective is. If you're just getting in and out, obviously you're selling at certain increments, or you just let it ride. 156.06, if you have an ETF, you just let it go. Just try to buy the ETF cheap, or cheaper than where it is today. 155.34, but that might not happen. 154.64-ish. Note the bounce at support, the buy-in, sell-off at clear resistance. That gave you one opportunity to get out, another opportunity. We never hit 4. Do not hold your breath that we hit 4. If we do hit 4, the day will go by, and at the end of the day, that 4 standard deviations could be your 2. Sell-off, close enough. Bounce here in the clear line, bounce. All right, that's it there. And I want to go over Lucid because I got stopped out and I set a stop loss a long time ago. I like to take roughly 10% gains and obviously more if I can take it. But if I'm just trying to get in, get up, get out, I like 10%. So this morning we gapped up on some good news. The Gravity SUV enters production. My neighbor owns this vehicle. I want to say it's like $130,000 vehicle. And then his sister-in-law bought one too. So they have 2 in the family. It cracks me up. A super beautiful car. But unfortunately, the vehicles have not kept up their value. Like it's tanked. You can get a used one with low mileage for like $60,000 or $70,000. I feel bad about that, but that's what he wanted. And it's a beautiful vehicle. All right, so we gapped up. You can't see it because I have this all marked out, but there was a gap up. Well, let's just delete this and I'll show you if I can see it. No, well, we just ran up. We had this gap, okay? We gapped and then we ran and then ran up. So let's mark this. That is right there, 255. Oops. All right. So, oops. We are at the middle of the trend, 257. VWAP is in the blue. The green line is my sell line, 260. I was sleeping when it happened. Not at my desk. 277, 288, and 299. Don't hold your breath, okay? To get to that level on Tuesday. And then back down at -2 standard deviations, lines up with the gap that formed at the get-go Monday, 235. And then this closes out at roughly 230. All right, I have no idea when it's going to touch, but right now we are running up, so it could be a while. You never know, but We could also wick down and then touch the top of that. This will act as support. And then below that, 225, and then 214. And then we've got this baby gap down here, still a threat to our account to the downside, to the south side if you like to go short. There you have it. But again, we're moving up in an upward channel on the 5. Sell off here at resistance. Didn't make it down to here, but sell off when we're down here and we ride up. That is resistance. That's one area to dump off, get off the gravy train. If you buy here, you could sell here in theory and here in theory. If you're up here, you could buy here in theory and then here in theory. And then obviously many levels of support and resistance in between. Then we're just grinding sideways. This thing has been dead money. Do not trade this if you have no idea what you're doing. This thing was, I don't know, in the 30s or in the 60s at one point. All the YouTubers were talking about it. I got trapped in it, clawed my way back, and now I don't listen to anyone but myself because I've taught myself how to trade, and now I know when to get in and get out. You have to teach yourself support and resistance, and if you can, don't buy on the high. That is not my strategy if you don't know what you're doing. But this was a nice trade to the upside. And I've sold out here at 362. The pink line, the pink line I'm no longer in because I sold it, and I sold it higher at some point too. And then I sold out here at 416. I made money here at 465, 377. Okay, so if you don't have a lot of money to trade and you're being very conservative, this one is scary. All right, and one last one. This one is also for Nate. Let's talk about what happened to Tesla. It ran like crazy this morning. Why do I have... Oh. All right, first I'm going to give you some price targets. I did a video on Sunday night. Wait, what is this? Where did I... Well, oh yeah. So we're basically, oh, look at that. I did a video on Sunday night at 3, and the price was 389.22. We ran up, wicked all the way up. The high was 404.80. All right. And I've been talking about a gap fill to, look at this, 405.96, this line. We're super close, but no cigar. That means it's still in play. It's going to be another attempt to get to this level. So 389.79 is where we ended. I started covering it at 389.22. All right. So now we're at 391.56 at the middle of the trend. A gap forms right here at roughly 398.81. We tickled it, okay, but we didn't close out. And that will be the 405.96. The 1-year price target is 411. I looked at that on the 5th. And is it the same? 472. Oh my gosh, what? They changed it to 472? And on the 5th, it was 411. 472 takes us, ooh, that changes a lot of things. 472 because I was going to dump out. The lowest I ever bought, it was in the 150s and in the 300s as well. But I'm way up. I'm right side up and then some now. So that's 472. Let me mark that out. Okay. Now, Nate. says, Tsla is like a toddler. Turn your back for 1 minute and they're off running. Now isn't the time to sell covered calls. This statement is so true. This ticker is so volatile. I mean, it's horrible. You will lose your shirt, or you could gain incredible amounts of money with this thing. But I'm very happy and very lucky that I bought it way down here, so this thing could tank on me and I would still be okay. But I was going to dump out at possibly 405.96, and then I thought, no, if the projected price target is 411, I was going to maybe wait there since we're so close. Let me move this out of the way. All right, so within 2 standard deviations, this thing could finally touch, tomorrow it could wick up or just go up. And then the middle of the trend, if we continue to go up, could take us to 430 right there. And then the outer band, 446, 445, and 450. So yeah, pretty close to 472. Let's let it ride. And then watch out for all of the landmines to the south side, but we are in an upward channel on the 5, moving farther away from those targets, but they are still there. Okay, I think I've done enough talking. That is it for me. Oh, just a second. Here, I want to show you 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to put Cmcsa on here. Oops, CM. There we go. Pull it out over. And let me just show you Mchp. So when I talked about it and formed the list, it was at 58.23 right here. For a run up here is roughly 7.71%, but for the day we're up 4.35%. Very nice. And then this one I pointed out oops. I didn't catch it at the low end here, but that's okay. We went as high as, look. Oh, we hit that target, the target I pointed out. So let me clean this up. We went above the target. 43.83 is what I mentioned, and we got to 44.04. So this is no longer in play, done. And that's still a target. Let me just clean this up while I'm here. 42.73. Watch out. This is good though. It's possibly bottoming out here and then going up. So that means it could go up. Who knows? Then we've got 41.73, 41.24, and 40.76 are your targets. And Mchp, while I'm here, oh my goodness. Let me just delete that right here. 87, 63.51, 65.12, 66.76, 60.30, 56.94, 55.33, 53.64. And Intel I added to the list this weekend. We're down. See, remember, I'm going to pick some up if we make it to this line. So flip this over to the monthly and then look at the RSI. It'll give you some clues as to the possible direction. Okay. So 21.14, 21.45 roughly, 21.74, 20.53, 19.91, 1961, and then should we get down here, that will wipe out that gap at 19.30. All right, that really does it for me. I am done. So I hope you have a fantastic trading day, and If there is a ticker you want me to go over, please let me know.